Okay, ladies and gentlemen, you've got Darren Little here from Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada, and thanks a lot for joining us tonight on this exclusive and private VIP broadcast. We are going to show you, sort of open the vault for you tonight, and we're going to show you how we generated $240,000 in profit in 35 days on Facebook. Now, what I'm going to share with you guys tonight is that we did this all using free marketing strategies. We didn't do solo ads. We didn't do paid traffic. We didn't do banner ads. We didn't run radio. We didn't do television. We didn't do magazines. We didn't do classifieds. This is all free strategies that anybody can do using the power of the internet. Now, if you've been in the network marketing industry, direct sales, MLM, affiliate marketing, online marketing, a lot of these strategies, guys, that people teach in the what I call the open market, they just don't work. Okay? It's the bottom line. So people get very, very frustrated. They feel like they're spinning their wheels, right? They're doing whatever they're being told to do. That might be making a list of your friends and family. That might be spending a ton of money on paid traffic. And I will share with you that I get calls from people that are so frustrated because they have a dream. They have a vision of freedom. They want to walk away from their 9-to-5 job, but they can't seem to crack the code. They can't seem to figure it out. Now, if you've been told to make a list of your friends and family, they probably told you to go fly a kite, right? Which is pretty common. So that particular pathway is really filled with a lot of rejection. And guys, I will tell you that rejection totally sucks, okay? Not only does it affect your dream, not only does it affect your confidence and your self-esteem, but people think, well, if it doesn't work, then what's next? What else can I do? So what do they do after they burn through all of those friends and family? What do they do next? Go to malls? What do they hand out flyers to people? Run classified ads on Craigslist? They don't know what to do. Now, why is that? Because they are taught a formula that does not work. Now, the 7-figure income earners are doing something completely different. They are solving the pain of the marketplace. Okay, now what's the pain? The pain is people don't want to harass their friends and family. The pain is people hate getting rejected. The pain is they don't know what to do to generate leads for their business. And even if you gave them a lot of leads, they don't know how to close and upsell those people to higher ticket products. And as a result, they don't get an income story, so they don't get any team duplication. Now, there is a strategy to working on a launch to get you into vertical liftoff. So when I first rolled out Black Ops Underground Marketing, in 5 days, guys, I made over $24,000. And in my very first month, I made 108 grand, okay, in profit in the bank, okay? Now, people might say, well, that's great for you, Darren, but what about me? I don't have a big list. I've never marketed before. We have brand new marketers that have never made a penny online. They've never made a penny in network marketing that are making between 10, 15, as high as $45,000 their very first month implementing our strategies. So you might say, well, Darren, I work a full-time job. What about me? How can I do it? We've got people that you're going to be able to meet tonight that have worked these strategies on a very casual part-time basis that have made as much as $13,000 their very first month working part-time. That means they have a full-time job, they have family, but they still were able to make $13,000 the very first month. We've got people that never made money ever, and they had a $4,000 week, right? So it's very possible if you're prepared to surrender your pride, surrender your ego, and just be coachable, okay? Now, one of the things I'll share with you about Millionaire Mentoring is that 80% of success is just showing up, Okay. So the first thing that I want to do is say congratulations to you for just being here tonight, because it means that you're coachable. It means that you're willing to maybe give away something, right? Sacrifice something now to have benefit later for you and your family. And that's really the starting point. Now, I want to turn back the clock a little bit. I want to tell you a little bit about my story. I actually came from the world of features and benefits. That might be real estate, mortgage broker, insurance agent, automotive, retail industry. It could be a stockbroker, something where you're actually pitching people and trying to convince them that you have what they need. Now, our industry, guys, I'm going to tell you, that's not it, okay? And if you do that, you will not only fail miserably, but it will be very, very painful for you. I'm talking really painful. We come from an industry of personal development, of leadership, and our industry, products get sold, but they get sold in a different way, right? They get sold in a completely different way. They get sold by first helping people solve their pain, right? That's the first step. Now people say, well, Darren, I've never been a leader. I don't know what to do. What do I do to be a leader? It's very, very simple. You learned something, okay? So if you learned something today that you didn't know yesterday, there's a lot of people like that too that didn't know what you just learned, okay? So that's step one. You need to learn something, okay? And that requires you to show up and take some notes, okay? Step two is that you need to now apply what you have learned for 2, 3, maybe 4 days and collect data, right? What's data? Data is results. Now, it could be results in lead generation. It could be results in closing or upselling those prospects into become an affiliate or distributor of your product, your service, your weight loss, your skincare, your nutraceuticals, right? Your energy drinks, your power, your online tools, your digital products. The products make no difference, guys, in our industry. Okay, you got to understand that it's not about the products. The products have to provide fair market value, and they have to provide fair compensation to the people that are marketing them, okay? But it's not about the products. It's not about the company. It's not about the comp plan. It's not about your patents and your trademarks and blah, 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 blah. People don't care, okay? Here's what they care about. Show me how to make money, right? They don't care if they're selling baseball caps or watches or telephones or, you know, whatever, right? Running shoes, t-shirt, they don't care. Show me how to make money so that I can get results too, okay? So the first thing that you got to understand about this type of a business model is that anybody, doesn't matter how old you are, we've got people that are 15 years old that made $7 grand their first month. We got a 17-year-old kid that made 35 grand his first month. We got a guy that just got out of prison that made 28,500 his first month. So it's not about your circumstance. It's about whether or not you're going to be coachable, right? Very, very important, guys. Very important that you understand that. Now, we want to be able to show you how to generate an unlimited number of red hot targeted leads for your business. And I'm actually going to share my screen tonight. I'm going to take you right onto my Facebook wall, and I'm going to talk about some strategies, some psychology, right? So what the 7-figure income earners do is they actually market something on the front that solves the pain of the market, and then they market their business opportunity on the back, okay? Not on the front. This is really critical, guys. And I hope you're taking notes right now, because you should have a pen and paper right now and taking notes on this broadcast. We give a lot of content, a lot of value that you're going to be able to walk away from to really understand the power of the 7-figure business model. Now, so what do the 7-figure income earners tell you to do? They say make a list of your top 200. So let's say that they have a list of 20,000 people, and out of that, maybe they recruit 100, okay, right now, okay? So they're gonna tell you to make a list of your top 200 people. So they've got 20,000 potential leads right now. So if they only close 2%, their organization grew by 400 people. So what do they tell those people to do? Make a list of your top 200. Now they got 80,000. So if 2% join, their business just grew by 1,600 people. Think about this. But they don't do that. They're not even doing what they tell you to do. So what they do is they have this little ATM machine that's actually building their list for free and making the money, okay, on the front end. And it's now funding their entire business. It's funding their upsells to higher ticket products in their high ticket. It's funding their paid traffic. It's funding their event tickets. It's funding their airfare. It's funding their accommodations. So they're not in the same position that you are because they know marketing, okay? Now, I want for you to understand the psychology of this first, and then we're going to get into hearing from a few people. I'm going to go onto my Facebook page, and then I'm going to show you exactly what we did to make $240,000 in 35 days. Sound good, guys? Sound fair enough? Okay. So the first thing that I'm going to share with you is that the seven-figure income earners, they will typically use a ebook, a PDF file, an interview, a software, a JVZoo product, a ClickBank product, something on the front that provides value to the marketplace and solves people's pain, okay? That's step one. That is going to build an unlimited number of leads for you of a variety of different companies, okay? So here's an example. Let's say I'm over here and I'm with a weight loss company, right? I'm not right now, but let's say that I was. And you're over here and you're with a skincare company. Now, I already think that I have my ticket to the promised land. Otherwise, I wouldn't have joined that business. And you already think you have the ticket to the promised land. Guess what happens? Okay, now what? Now what do I do? Okay, our comp plan's better than your comp plan. No, we got more seven-figure income earners than you do. Well, we got more track record, right? I'm right into conflict. I'm into a battle, right? So I wouldn't have joined my company if I thought your company was better. I would have joined your company, right? I'm already in my company. So here's what the seven-figure income earners do. Here's an example for social media. Hey, everyone, I just learned this really cool strategy that generated 325 red hot targeted leads for my business. Anybody interested? Guess who's coming? Everybody's coming. Amway's coming. Prepaid Legal's coming. Nerium's coming. LifeVantage is coming. Prove It is coming. They're all coming, guys. They're all coming to get the information from you as the leader. Okay, this is important. Now, if the value that you provide completely dwarfs the value that they're getting from their current leader, they jump ship and they join you. So we're really in a business model of helping people to solve their pain, right? And it's not about your company. It's not about your products. It's not about your comp plan and your patents and trademarks and all the rest of the stuff. It's about their vision, their dream, their pain, their problem, and their passion. And none of that has to do with whatever you think you're marketing. How about that? So a lot of people say, Darren, I heard that you could recruit people in as fast as 60 seconds. How the heck could you do that? Well, you can't do it coming from features and benefits, I can tell you that, because you'd never be able to explain all that in 60 seconds. But when we use social media, we've already built a relationship with our prospects before we even talk to them. They may have been following our content for a month, 6 months, a year. I've got people that said, Darren, I've been following you for 5 years and I'm ready to get started now. So you gotta start to look at yourself as being in a career versus into some get-rich-quick scheme, okay? Because that's not what we do. We teach you how to become a career network marketer, okay? A career online marketer, a career affiliate marketer, okay? And they're all very, very the same. They're all have very, very similarities to them. In our industry, something or someone other than you is going to talk about your products, company, and comp plan. And say this again. In our industry, something or someone other than you is going to talk about whatever it is that you think you're marketing, okay? Now, salespeople, unfortunately, can't shut up. They got to know it all, do it all, be it all, say it all, and explain it all, and they actually sell themselves right out of the deal. Now, why is that? Put yourself into the position of a single mother that has, say, 5 or 6 kids. She's got pickups, she's got drop-offs, she's got to make breakfast, lunch, and dinner, there's homework, and guess what she says? Oh my God, I could never do this. You got to have a doctor's degree to be able to do that business. I'm good, right? But I hope you do well, right? And I wish you well, right? That's typical. And if you're hearing that from people, it means that you can't shut up, okay? Because the conversation shouldn't even be about your company. How about that? Now, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to reach out to a couple of people, a couple of students that have actually gone through some of the Millionaire Mentoring. Some of them work the business on a very, very casual part-time basis. Some of them have children. Some of them are single moms, right? So they don't have a lot of time, right? So if you're wondering to yourself, can I actually do this? Could I implement these strategies? First person I want to reach out to right now is Justin Grabko. He's actually a full-time engineer, works the business on a very casual part-time basis. But here's the interesting thing. From Millionaire Mentoring, besides his online business, he's had 2 pay raises, a job promotion, and he got an additional $30,000 consulting contract. He has tripled his income, okay? Tripled. Right, just shy of tripled. It's a little under that, but between 2.5 and 3 times, right in the center there. And Justin, welcome to the call. So, Justin, talk to us a little bit about your journey. I know that you've been online before, you've been in the industry before, and you were struggling, weren't you, to try to make money?
Yeah, I was struggling to make money dearly. Because what I was told was to basically, start with the hype, just start with pitching them and just throw out links. And sooner or later, you're going to get people to join. And sooner rather than later, I fell flat on my face using those techniques. And I've started doing that. And, I started making some money. I got to as much as making $4,000 in 1 month with an affiliate marketing product. But I knew there were better ways. I knew there was a strategy, like you said, with catapulting what is going on. I'm wondering, like, how come these people are, making this type of money and I'm struggling? And also over the past year or two, I was dealing with layoffs and just living paycheck to paycheck. I was, my credit score was going down, and I had bills big time happening, and I was in a big time rut at that time when I came out and reached to you about this Millionaire Mentoring.
So what happened? So you started out of the gate. And then what happened in your first 30 days of applying these strategies?
Well, in the first 30 days of, being coachable, like, as you say, I made $13,000 my first month.
Now, did you have to go out and spend $10,000 of that on traffic? How much of that $13,000 ended up in your bank account?
Every single penny of it.
So you're telling me that you started in Millionaire Mentoring, and in 30 days, you made $13,000 in profit working part-time. Is that true?
Yes, that is correct. I was just working at a maximum of probably about 4 or 5 hours every night and just implementing your formula.
Now let me ask you this, Justin, because a lot of people do ask me this. They say, Darren, will these strategies work in my regular career, with just my regular job? Like, maybe they're not even interested in direct sales or online marketing or MLM or anything like that. They just want to go higher and higher up the ladder at their corporate job. What happened for you in that regard?
Well, since I started in August, and between August and January, I've gotten 2 pay raises and increased my income at least by $4,000 per year. And then I started thinking, he says, you know what? He said, I'm starting to realize, my deservability and my skill set right now, along with my mindset with this mentoring and personal development being built up right here. I got that consulting contract, and it just catapulted my income right there. And I got my dream career going in right now. I'm going to be traveling. I'm going to be working on projects between $100 million and $300 million. I'll be working with a ton of people that have lots more experience than me. And everything's starting to click together in my life. And I got to thank Millionaire Mentoring for that.
Fantastic. So you started off on a path. I think I saw you post something that said that this year you're actually going to pass $150,000 for the year. Is that the case?
That's definitely my strongest goal. I'm definitely going to get past the 6 figures. That's for sure. And 150,000 would be very, very nice.
Fantastic. Okay, we're gonna reach out to the land down under, right? We're going out to kangaroo land, guys. So buckle up. I'm gonna reach out here to Charlene. If you can maybe just unmute yourself, that would be great. And let's find out a little bit more about your story. Now, guys, this is a great example. Charlene's actually a single mom, right? And she works the business on a part-time basis, but now she's bridging over to going full-time right now. Charlene, what happened for you just in the last 2 weeks in your business?
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Darren, first and foremost, for having me here. Honor and a privilege to be here. What's happened in the last 2 weeks, basically, before I got involved in Millionaire Mentoring, I was basically buying my groceries with my credit card. And, it caused me a lot of stress, especially as a mom. And my mother also lives with me as well. So I'm also supporting her and my son 95% of the time. And so basically I was desperate, and I reached out to Darren and reached out into getting involved in Millionaire Mentoring. And all I did was follow the simple steps. And in following the simple steps, I have had income explosions. Basically within 8 days, I hit $4,000. Within 13 days, I hit $10,000. And in 25 days, I hit $14,680. And it's completely changed my life. I'm never going to have to worry about money ever again. I know I can now, prepare myself for a family holiday later in the year. I know I can afford my rent now, because that was a problem as well. I don't have to buy groceries on my credit card anymore. And, in doing so, I also have, people who I mentor now who have also become 1K a day, earners as well. And that to me is very encouraging, because anybody who follows a simple process can achieve the same results. And it is, you can duplicate with your team, so anybody can do this. So yeah, Darren.
Fantastic. Guys, I want to reach out here to, this is another great story. Crystal. Crystal was in a situation where she had a really big dream, but she didn't have the proper mentoring, the proper coaching, the proper training to be able to take her along that path to help her to step into her personal power. And that's the amazing thing about Millionaire Mentoring, because your personal power just goes like this, and you become the attractor factor. So with Crystal, she started to follow our content formula that I'm going to touch a little bit on tonight. And now she's got incoming inquiries, and she's now starting to become the attractor factor, popping these $1,000 days. So Crystal, welcome to the call. You're muted there, young lady.
Thanks for having me, Darren.
So tell us a little bit about your story, Crystal.
So I've tried network marketing for a while now, and it has never been a steady success, and it's it wasn't the greatest. And so, and even when I made money when I made my first $500 online, it came so easily that I actually self-sabotaged myself. And with Millionaire Mentoring, I learned that it's actually okay to be able to make money easily and effortlessly online. And not just that, but with Millionaire Mentoring, learning from you, Darren, I finally realized I needed to surrender my ego to really get into my personal power. And I started talking about surrendering ego, but I didn't really put it into action. And then when I did, by writing out surrendering my pride and ego online and telling people about my real life story, that's when people started coming to me and following me. And I've even had people who are not even in my team, I don't even know them, share my posts and say I'm in their team.
Wow. So have you already had situations, Crystal, where you're starting to have the $1,000 days as well?
Yes, I actually just had a $1,000 day the other day, my first 1,000, and the girl approached me and she was like, "I'm waiting for your next webinar." And I was like, "What? What are you talking about? I've never seen you ever in my life." And then we started talking and she was like, "I already feel like I've known you for a long time now." And it's all simply because I started sharing myself on my Facebook.
Fantastic. Okay, let's go over to Erica. Erica, you had a really big breakthrough here in the last 2 weeks. Maybe unmute and tell us a little bit about your story. I know that you used to make $5,000 in a month. Now you made $4,000 in a week. So tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, thanks a lot for having me. You guys can hear me okay?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, thanks a lot for having me on the call. I really appreciate it. And just exactly what you said, prior to this, getting into Millionaire Mentoring, I was really struggling. Some of the stories that everyone else has said, it were my story too. I struggled in network marketing. I really didn't have the confidence when I started even in online marketing. I just didn't really believe that I could do this. And it wasn't until I got into Millionaire Mentoring and started to just follow the steps. They're real simple steps. And once I started to do that, like what Justin was saying, my mindset started to change, and then I became the attractor factor, and I was just able to have this breakthrough. And my breakthrough was a $4,000 week, and then I just had another sale today, and it's like everything has just changed from day to night. And it really was just when I just surrendered my pride and ego and just started to follow the steps that were laid out, it just happened. And I really can't thank you enough, because it's really changed my life. And I have a college degree, and I learned how to earn money with my college degree, but now I know how to make money. And there's a huge difference in that. So I'm really grateful for that.
That is amazing. Guys, if you're just joining us for the very first time, today we're going to be talking about how you can literally never ever have to worry about money again for the rest of your life with a simple computer, a Wi-Fi connection, and access to the internet. Now, people might say to me, "Well, Darren, I don't have a lot of friends on Facebook." It doesn't matter. The guy that got out of prison, he basically only had 100 friends when he started. He still made $28,500 his first month. But these people are coachable, right? And a lot of times you actually have to hit rock bottom before you will surrender your pride and your ego. It's just a fact, guys, right? Because the ego kind of protects us and keeps us safe. And sometimes the easiest things are what makes you money, right? But people can't believe that. They can't believe it could actually be easy to make money because of their programming, right? A lot of us had our parents say, "You got to work hard for your money," right? So that programming that's internally, right down to the DNA of our bodies, becomes a blocker. So they will actually go the hard path and spin their wheels instead of just taking the easy path that we've already told them to do, okay? Now, what I'm going to do right now, guys, is I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to actually go onto my Facebook wall, and I'm going to show you a little bit about some of these strategies and how they work. And then we're going to actually show you how we can make money so fast, okay? Now, first thing I'm going to share with you guys here tonight is that it's not just about your friends, right? Because if you look here, you can see that I've got 4,846 friends. But if I go here into this area called followers, there's 17,121 followers that are in addition to those friends. Now, people might say, well, Darren, how the heck did you do that, right? Did you do a bunch of paid traffic? Did you go spend a bunch of money? No, I didn't. What did I do? I create content that's engaging, okay? Content that is engaging. Now, there's a few things that we share with our students, the various different free softwares that you can use. They don't cost any money at all. Like this software here is called Ripple, R-I-P-L. You can get it on your phone, and you can make these really cool videos, right, for free. I actually made that last night while I was in bed, right? I couldn't sleep, so I was making a video just using my phone and the pictures that were in my phone, you know, over the last year, okay? Very, very simple. Anybody could do that. Now, did I have somebody hold my hand and say, well, Darren, here's how you use the software? No, I just opened it up and it said, what do you want to call the title, right? So in this particular case, what was the title that I used? Okay, let's check it out. So the title that I used here for this particular one was the most valuable thing in the world today is time, no matter how young or old you are. So now I'm going to touch on people's emotions. So I'm using color and I'm using copy. So what are the things I'm going to touch on? Now, one of the things that we cover in great detail in Millionaire Mentoring is that we share with people that if you can touch people emotionally, you can change their state, okay? Now, look what happened underneath here. This lady says, that speaks to the heart. That means that you are successful, guys, okay? That means that that campaign is working. Now, you'll also notice here that there's people here that have liked the post. So that just that one little post has generated about 14 leads, right? Let's take a look at this one. There's 4 leads right there. This one has generated 43 leads. 43 leads, guys, okay? 43 leads. Now, how did I do that? I did that by talking about the different categories of life. Now, what does that have to do with anything that you might be marketing? Nothing. That's the thing that people don't get about this. Now, there's 43 leads there, and there's people here as well that are interacting with this post. Now, every time somebody interacts with it, my brand is going to show up right here on the left-hand corner of their screen, okay? So you can see all the interaction there. Here's another 43 leads right here, right? Somebody's shared that, right? You think that if somebody shares your content, that might be considered a good lead, right? These are people right here that are in our industry. How do I know that? Because we're in an industry of personal development and leadership, not in pitching products, okay? It's very important, guys, okay? Now, this is just a car that I'm looking at right now. I'm going to go look at tomorrow. If you take social media and you start to use it like a reality TV show, people feel closer to you. Now, why is that? It's human psychology, guys. If you can share your real world with people, they start to feel closer to you. So there's another 26 leads there, and there's some interaction down here. You can see that. Okay. This was something that I did today. I donated $12,000 to a number of different people I call that making universal deposits in other people's lives. There's another 42, there's 44 leads sitting there, and there's more interaction right here. They call it social media for a reason, guys. Social, okay? Now, this is going to be a millionaire mentoring session that I'm going to do next week on Wednesday. 25 people, right? It says the next 25 people that inbox me, I'm going to give a millionaire mentoring session to valued at over $1,000. No matter what you're marketing, it doesn't matter. Just send me a private message and say, I want the millionaire mentoring session. It will be first come, first serve. Session will be held midweek next week, 7 p.m. PST. Learn the 7-figure formula, and the 7-figure income earners don't want you to know, okay? It's true, guys. Now, what do we have here? 21, 22, 23 more leads. So these are all people that are prospects, right? These are people that are looking for a solution to their pain, a solution to their problem, okay? The only cap on your income is in your head, right? True. There's another 50 leads there, guys, okay? What do we got here? Another 75 leads sitting here. We can show you how to generate so many leads that you won't even be able to contact them all. No joke. Literally an endless number of leads of people that are qualified, people that are successful, people that are already in our industry. You will never, ever, ever have anybody say to you, is this a pyramid? Is this illegal? Right? You will never have that because they're already in our industry. They're already sold on our business model, okay? Now, one of the things that we teach in our millionaire mentoring is we teach something called piggyback marketing. Now, piggyback marketing is something that's made me millions and millions of dollars. This right here is called a wrapper, right? A wrapper that wraps around whatever it is that we market, okay? So I was the #1 income earner with a company called Explocial, but I wasn't marketing Explocial. I was marketing the Academy of Quantum Physics Mind Mastery. And all the people were coming from my special sauce. This particular wrapper wraps around a company called Exodus Elite, and I'm the #1 income earner there too. Everybody else is marketing Exodus Elite. I market Black Ops Underground Marketing, guys. Right now, you do that for a reason, so that if anything was to ever happen to the company, and in our industry it does, right? I was with Explocial and the owner died. The owner had 2 strokes and he passed away. And what happened to all of that, you know, income? Poof, gone, right? Instantly. So we do something called a wrapper that we teach in our training that helps you to always be protected. Always be protected. Now, this is called a piggyback. So my question to you is, have you ever played blackjack? Now, when you think of that word, it typically pulls a higher demographic of people that have disposable income. So we show you how to do these strategies so that you can attract buyers that have money, okay? So now in this particular case, this is 10 times more fun because it has to do with the home-based business industry, personal development, and leadership. And we can show you not only how to have 10 times more fun, but to 10x your income too. Now, what this does is it helps you to build any home-based business without having to harass your friends and family. You don't have to, you know, be calling your people that you knew from elementary school or your doctor and your lawyer and your accountant to try to pitch them on your MLM deal. Okay, so throw that out the window. That's gone. You do not have to do that working with us. And you'll never get rejected, which is really, really cool because you don't have to have your confidence and self-esteem totally pummeled. This strategy will actually help you to generate unlimited leads for your business. And I just showed you probably 300 leads that I've generated just today, right? And also to be able to create a real marketing and advertising budget. So when I say a real budget, what do I mean by that? If you want to get to 7 figures and beyond, we want to help you to be able to create at least a $10,000 monthly marketing budget for your business. Because that's real, guys. That's real business. So if you could not have to pull that out of your credit card and not have to pull that out of your savings account, and we showed you how to generate the income so the business is paying for it, that's a good place to be. You can also use this strategy to raise the funds for your high ticket product purchases. So some people get into companies and maybe their high ticket is $5,000, 20, 30, 40. There's companies that will go all the way up to $100,000, guys, for online different tools, trainings, and things like that. We can show you how to raise the money so that you don't have to take a second mortgage out on your home. Also how to close and upsell to higher ticket products. So somebody might come into your program at $500 level, but you don't know how to get them up to the $3,000 level or the $5,000 or the $10,000 or $20,000. We show you how to do that with our training. And also how to get explosive team duplication, because you might be able to make money. The question is, can your team make money? Now, in a healthy leadership situation, the leader makes between 10 and 15% of the team. That's a heart-centered leader. In a greed-centered leader, the leader makes about 80% and the team makes the little bird crumbs, right? The little bird crumbs, right? We don't do that. Or you might say, Darren, I just want a ton of extra cash flow. I want to be able to live a lifestyle and I've got these big dreams. I want to travel. I want a new car. I want a new house, right? My parents are ill. I want to retire my mom, whatever. We can help you to do that too. We use this strategy every single day to scale up our sales, our own sales. So we lead by example and we show you how it's done. So the strategy that I'm about to share with you tonight, I've personally used to make between $1,000 and $15,000 in a single day. And then me and my business partner, in 35 days, we made almost $250,000, $240,000 in profit in our bank without spending a single penny on paid marketing, okay? And we can show you how to 10x your income. Now, it can help you achieve the exact same goal as us, okay? So if we have 17-year-old kids that make 35 grand the first month, 50 grand within 6 weeks, trust me, guys, this strategy works for anyone. Doesn't matter what you're marketing. Weight loss, skincare, nutraceuticals, legal, power, energy, it doesn't matter. Okay, are you ready? Here we go. Now, this is Blackjack, the house of cards. Black Ops Underground Marketing is sort of a brainchild of myself and my business partner, Ari Maccabee. And we've made multiple millions of dollars, guys, and we don't hold anything back. Okay, when I say that, I really mean it. We don't tell you to go do something, and then we have some little secret that we're working on the side. We don't do that. We share everything with you. This is me, Darren Little. I'm from Vancouver, BC, Canada. And this is my business partner, Ari Maccabee. He actually lives over in the Philippines in Manila. So we're 24/7 guys, right? We're situated in two areas of the world so that when I'm up, Ari's asleep. And when he gets up, I'm asleep. But a lot of times we cross over, right? We cross over. So I'm going to show you right now how to make $240,000 per year with a small, little, tiny team of only 21 people. And you can have a blast doing it. This is so much fun, guys, when you start popping these $1,000 commissions. Now, we did it in 35 days, okay? Now, am I going to tell you that you could do that in 35 days? Well, you might be able to if you've got a big list. But even if you don't have a list, what if it took you 2 years to be able to pull it off? Would that still be good, right? If we got a 17-year-old kid making 35 grand his first month, it's possible, guys. It's very possible. Now, here's some of the biggest challenges in our industry in general. People hate harassing their friends and family. They hate getting rejected. I mean, God, rejection just totally sucks. They don't have any marketing budget to properly run a 7-figure business. Now, when I say that, a lot of people target that they want to make 10,000. What if we could show you how to be spending 10,000 that wasn't coming out of your own pocket, right? Your business was funding it all. They don't have enough capital to purchase their high ticket products. Those can range from 5 grand all the way up to 100 grand. They don't know how to generate leads, right? Once they burn through their warm market, so that they can have a steady stream of qualified buyers looking at their business opportunity daily, okay? Looking at their business opportunity daily. And they don't know how to close an upsell. Even if I was to hand you 20,000 leads, what are you going to do with them? What are you going to do with them? Now, if you come from features and benefits, the only thing that you're going to know is to pitch people, and that doesn't work. It doesn't work, guys. Okay, it doesn't work. They don't know how to get any team duplication, especially when they don't have an income story, and they don't know how to market so that they get incoming inquiries, incoming Facebook messages, incoming emails, incoming Skype calls for people saying, I want to know what you do, right? We want to help you to become the attractor factor in your business. Now, the first thing that you've got to understand is something called target marketing. Now, what is that? The blue represents the North American population. The green represents the personal development industry. And the pink is a little sliver inside of the personal development industry. So typically, for the most part, guys, I will tell you that people that are just regular 9-to-5ers, that are kind of complacent, that make $3,000 to $5,000 a month, unless they are in a state of transition, or they've reached a breaking point in their life, or a combination of those two things, they don't even qualify. So don't even waste your time, okay? Where are you gonna hit the big money? Where are you gonna hit the jackpot? Here's where. In our industry, there's a 97% failure rate because people aren't properly trained. They're not taught this stuff that we're going to teach you here tonight, okay? So there's a little sliver of 3% that make a full-time income. There's only 0.1% that make over $400 a month in this business model. Now, why is that? Because they come from features and benefits. Right? Real estate, mortgage broker, insurance agent, automotive, retail. That's not our industry. And that's why they fail so miserably. They fall flat on their face because they don't know anything else. Nobody's ever taught them anything else. Now, if you want to be a successful entrepreneur, you have to have two things. Okay. And if you don't have these two things, guys, you will go bankrupt. Okay. Here they are. You have to have a steady stream of qualified buyers that are potentially looking for what you have, and you need more cash flow. If you cut off the lead generation and you cut off the cash flow and a company still has their monthly burn rate, they will go under. Okay, I don't care if you're a retail outlet, a restaurant, a nightclub. If you don't have a steady stream of new people and cash flow to support your overhead, you are going under. You will go bankrupt. So we want to teach you how to master these two areas, okay? And what's the answer? It's Millionaire Mentoring. Because we do this all the time, guys. This is like second nature for us. And we want to be able to share 3 decades of knowledge and skills with you so that you can walk away from your job within 30 to 90 days, okay? Now, that's if you're coachable, and that's if you show up, right? 80% of success is all about showing up. Now, here's what most people do. They start their primary business, and let's say that primary business was a higher ticket product. Let's say it was, 25 grand. So they go to the bank and they get a loan for that startup, right? The 25,000. Or maybe they max out every one of their credit cards, or they take out a second mortgage against their home. So they're investing their own money to be able to buy into the products and the training. Now, what happens next? They got no money left. So now they have to learn free marketing strategies, but what the companies don't tell you is it's going to take you between 2 and 4 years to go through your learning curve. True story, guys. Now, most companies have a monthly auto ship, plus they want you to go to 4 events per year. Now, if you're in North America, those 4 events per event will probably cost you between $2,500 and $3,500 each. If you're in Europe, those events will probably cost you more like $5 grand with your airfare, your accommodations, your food, et cetera, okay? Now, here's what happens. Most people never even get there. And it is painful for us to watch this happen in the industry because it's not necessary, guys. It is not necessary. And if you've shown up here tonight, You may be in a position between step 1 and step 2 and never even got to step 3, but you're 25, 50. I have people call me $100,000 in debt, right? Saying, Darren, can you show me what to do, right? Because I'm on the verge of bankruptcy. They bought into a dream. They bought into the bullshit. They spent everything that they have. They drained their savings account. They went all in. They took a mortgage out on their house, and now they're on the verge of bankruptcy. This is common in our industry, and it's painful to see. Here's what we do. This is the 7-figure model. So we have something on the front end that's like a little tiny ATM machine, okay? Now, in our particular case, we help people solve the pain of the market. So we have something that has such incredible value that it has no resistance for people to purchase. Now, it pays out $1,000 commissions the exact same day that you make the sale. So you work today, you get paid today, okay? There's no delay. You don't have to wait 6 weeks, up to as high as 3 months to get paid by some of these companies and hope that they're going to actually pay you. I've been in a lot of situations where I've actually done my campaigns and then the company doesn't have the money to pay me. Or they say, oh, wait, yeah, we're just getting launched. It's going to be another few months before you're going to get paid. Your business can't function like that, guys. You need cash flow. So we use that front-end cash flow that we make the same day, and now the business is buying your high-ticket products. The business is running your ad campaign and paying for your traffic. You're not going into debt. So my first month, I made 108 grand.
Looks like we just lost him for a second, so just hang on, guys, and he'll be back on. So just give it just a minute. I know he'll get back on just as soon as he can. So hopefully you guys are getting some massive value out of this. And back out to the panel, does anyone want to pipe in a little bit about some of the stuff that he's talking about?
Yeah, absolutely. Darren is the real deal, and to come from having a very, very strong features and benefits background similar to what Darren had, it was really hard for me to really break through that mold, because I got involved in multi-level marketing. And you know what, you name it, I did it. I did the shakes, I did the supplements, I did the antioxidants. I was like this MLM junkie, right? This MLM junkie. And because I had the features and benefits embedded into me, I was hitting a brick wall every time. And I wondered why I wasn't succeeding. I wondered why I couldn't do what the top income earners in these companies were doing. They basically said, oh, look, just get a whole list and sell the product to as many people as possible. And a lot of them were my friends and family, by the way. And in doing so, I got rejected. I didn't know how to generate leads. And I actually became very, very discouraged and very distressed. It caused me a lot of pain. And, having reached out to a millionaire mentor who shows us how to generate leads and how to apply a simple strategy to selling whatever brand and whatever product, it's completely changed my life. And here he is back now, Darren Little.
All right, the power of the internet. What slide were we on, guys? Because I have to backtrack there a little bit. What slide were we on?
The ATM 7-figure.
Okay, so let's go again. Sorry about that. Okay, so let's check this out again. Can you guys see that right now? Hello?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, guys, so here's the 7-figure formula. So we have a front-end little ATM machine here that pays out $1,000 commissions, that funds our high-ticket products. It funds our ad campaign, our event tickets, our airfare. It funds everything. So what would it be like for you if you started a business, but the business generated $108,000 its first month? The business is paying for everything. So you're generating your list on the front end for free, and everybody's showing up. All the different companies are showing up. And then you end up not having to risk your own personal capital, and you end up with multiple revenue streams. So you got to have value on the front end, not your business opportunity. Value on the front, business opportunity on the back. That's how the seven-figure income earners rise to the top of the leaderboard so fast. So you need to find a product that hits mass market, mass appeal. That means that everybody wants and needs it. You need to be able to pay people the most amount of money for the least amount of effort, right? So that means that for the price point, the majority of the money has to go to that person, okay? Not these little tiny minuscule peon commissions that these MLM companies pay. It has to provide incredible value. People need to get paid the same day they sell it. And a small team of only 21 people, in our case, pays $20,000 a month, or $240,000 a year. Now, if you take massive action, you can actually exceed that. Now, we did it in 35 days. We made 240 grand in 35 days, right? And you'll get the team support from us, and we'll show you how that's done. Now, here's how you hit mass market. Personal development and leadership, right? Because that's what you need to get to the top of your company, and marketing strategies to be able to generate leads. It has to be generic, guys. I'm going to say this again. It has to be generic, okay, for every company. Really important. Now, what we do is we find a product where we purchase what are called the reseller rights. So the product already exists. The content already exists. We don't have to go make graphics or interviews or anything. We purchase the reseller rights for $99 per quarter or $299 per year. And then we become the vendor now. So when we sell this product, that $1,000 is paid directly to you as the vendor. And that becomes your funding mechanism to fund everything in your business. This is a little secret, guys. So you've got a personal development vault that's going to help get you in the right mindset, right? You've got the right, we also have a little section actually on wellness so that you can be in peak state as far as your mind. And then marketing strategies. Now, these strategies are applicable to anything. Realtor, mortgage broker, insurance, automotive industry, hotel, motel, nightclub, direct sales, online marketing, offline marketing, anything. So it has to be generic, right? Very important that you get that. Now that allows us to start making these $1,000 commissions directly to us the same day that we make them. Now here's the type of results that can be generated. This lady here works part-time. She's got 2 kids. She made 10 grand her very first month, right? That's Michelle Tracy Anderson. Here's another great story. You met Justin tonight, $13,000 his very first month working on a part-time basis. Then we've got Kim Justice. She's a personal trainer. Her first 7 weeks, she made $16,000. Guys, that's not a lot. That means between her and her entire team that she only made 17 sales total. Okay, we'll show you how that works in a minute. Jeff Lynn made $25,000 in his very first 5 weeks. Now, do you realize a lot of people don't even make that in a full year, right? Working full-time. He made that in his first 5 weeks following the 7-figure model. Now, what about this? This is a 17-year-old kid that made 35 grand in his very first 30 days, right? Now, if he could do it, why not you? Think about that. 17 years old. Now, here's what happened for me. I generated 108 grand in my first month. I will tell you that I did work hard. You know, I'm not going to tell you that I sat on my butt or that I was sipping pina coladas by the pool, because I did work hard. But would you work hard for 108 grand? Would that be worth it? My business partner here made 100 right in 33 days. So by the time we hit 35 days combined, we hit $240,000, okay, in profit. Now, here's how this works. So that would be a conventional, you know, company like a network marketing or an affiliate marketing, direct sales company. So you typically have a sponsor. The sponsor is actually supposed to help you. Now, most companies, your sponsor becomes part of the witness protection program. It's crazy, right? So that's your sponsor. And in our case, you're tied to a group in Facebook where you can have 24/7 international support. Doesn't matter where you're from. So there's you. And now you're going, so that means that you just bought the product, you bought the reseller rights to the product, and now you make your first sale. Okay, so you are now Blackjack qualified to make $1,000 commissions. Right now, watch what happens. That's going to actually be similar to the insurance industry. If you've been in the insurance industry, it's called shadowing. You're going to shadow your trainer and find out what they do. But the first sale, sometimes as many as 5 sales in the insurance industry, go to your trainer. Okay, so you're not Blackjack qualified, winner, winner, chicken dinner, and you're now ready to make $1,000 commissions. That is your first goal. Okay, your next goal is to sell the Genesis Elite product, which helps any business, anyone, direct sales, MLM, network marketing, online marketing, any offline or online company. Guess what happened? You just made $5,000, okay? Now, here's the cool thing. Your business, your team is now 6 people. Now, your next goal is to help your people, right? You're their sponsor. We want you to show them what you did. What did you apply? What strategies did you use? Now, hopefully, you use the strategies that you were taught in Millionaire Mentoring, so it can be very duplicatable. You don't have to handhold the people because our training, they can keep watching over and over and over. So here's the next step. You're going to help your team. Guess what happened? You just made 10 grand just by helping and stepping into a leadership role. So you've now got 11 people total on your team, but they just handed you 5 more, okay? So there's the 5 they just gave you, and now you're gonna help them. You've just made $15,000 as a King Club qualified, right? You're at 15 grand, but they gave you another 5 people, right? So you got 16 now, boom. Now watch this. You help your team, bam, you're already at 20 grand. Right? It can happen very, very fast, guys. That's why we have people that go up so fast in income, because you're dealing with a high demand product that will help any business, in addition to our Millionaire Mentoring. So there's your 21 people. That is your goal. Now, what's 21? 21 is Blackjack, right? So that's why we nicknamed this campaign Blackjack. So here's what happens. Your first step is to make 1 sale. You're going to become Blackjack qualified to make 1K commissions. Your next goal is to become Jack Club qualified, make 5 sales of the Genesis product library. You've now made 5 grand. Become Queen Club qualified. You're going to help your team of 5 make 1 sale each. Right now, you've got 11 personally sponsored. You've made 10,000. You're going to help your next people make 1 sale each. You've now made 15,000 in King Club qualified. Now you're going to move up to Ace Club qualified. Help your team of 5 make 1 sale each. Now you've made $20,000. Now, if we can help a 17-year-old kid surpass that and make 35 grand, trust me, we can help you. Now you're now ready for the World Series as a leader. And if you just keep on helping the new 5 people make 1 sale each. That's it, guys. That will take you to $240,000 per year just by helping your new 5 people make 1 sale each. It's actually a very realistic goal. When you break it down into these little tiny baby steps, right? That's $240,000 per year, US dollars. Now, if you're in Canada, you get a 35% pay raise. If you're in Australia, I don't know what the percentage is, but I can tell you it's more for US to Australian money. That is very realistic, guys, okay? Now, if we can help somebody part-time, like Justin, make 13 grand their very first month, why not you? Why not you, okay? Remember, there's you. You're going to make 1 sale, cha-ching. You're now ready to make $1,000 commissions. within one sale, guys. And we help support that to make that happen. Now, my question to you is, what if we gave you all of the campaigns that we ran? That's literally like us handing you the 7-figure formula. We made 900 grand in team commissions in 90 days from a complete flat start. We didn't spend a single penny on paid marketing, okay? We're gonna give that to you. What if we were to give you all of the sales copy that we used to start popping those $1,000 commissions? That's like a 7-figure income earner saying, I used this and it made me 15,000 in a day. Do you want it, right? What if we gave you all of our value campaigns, our follow-up campaigns, our promotional campaigns that we personally ran from A to Z? What if we showed you the type of Facebook content that creates interaction, that creates incoming inquiries, right? Like all the people on the panel. What if we taught you how to recruit new reps into any business? Any business, guys. These are transferable skills in 6 to 45 minutes. My personal best time is 60 seconds, and you're going to learn that in our training. What if we gave you access to a private Facebook group filled with tons more marketing secrets and tons more value, right? All as a bonus. We handed you the 7-figure formula, okay? So what ends up happening? You start popping $1,000 commissions like popcorn at a drive-in movie. No joke. Pop, 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 right? We've had people that are newbies, right? Newbies, that means they've never marketed before, that have had $1, $2, $3, and even $4,000 days, okay? Why not you? Why not you? So here's what you get. You get our Exodus Elite Genesis product library. It's got a value of $1,203.95, including our automated system. You get 90 days of millionaire mentoring. That's another 10 grand. You get 2 hours of live recruiting training. That's another $2,000 bonus. You get our top secret traffic source that we use. A lot of people will spend $5,000, $10,000, $20,000, $30,000, and the traffic totally sucks, and they end up out of pocket. We share the exact traffic formula that we personally use ourselves, the 7-figure income earners. That's another $997 bonus. We also share with you all of our contacts, our graphic designers, our copywriters, our tech people, everybody that we use so that you can fast track your success. Now, Black Ops Underground campaigns, that's another $9,000 bonus. So that is a total of $25,200.95, okay? Now, we like to create as much value as we can to really make this a no-brainer. So on top of that, we throw in another $3,000 Super Saturday bonus where you're actually interacting with us live. You can ask us questions. You can say, I don't really understand this. How does this work? How does that work? So it's very interactive, right? Where we open up the floor and you can ask us personal questions. Now you can get started popping those $1,000 commissions using the 7-figure sales model. And you're not going to have to take out a second mortgage, guys. Okay, you're not going to have to pay that $28,200.95. That is what we're going to give you. Okay, so scratch that out. The only thing that you've got to do is pay $1,203.95 for the library, and you get all of those bonuses for free. Okay, for free. That's why we have the stories that we do. That's why we have the Rags to Riches stories that we do. And I will tell you that we only have right now, there's 25 spots left for this promotion. Okay, we do these promotions, we run them, and then boom, we're done, right? So I would highly recommend, if you really have a dream, you really want to go to the next level, you want to never ever have to worry about money again for the rest of your life, this is the gateway, guys. No joke, okay? No joke. So if you want to get started, you want to click the link below on this particular page, okay? And it's very easy. You pay $99 or $299 for the reseller rights. It'll take you into the back office. It will set you up with your person that you're partnered with. You'll be able to pay the $1,000 and $1,050 for the product. It's $1,000 plus $50 in PayPal transaction fees. And then you get plugged right into Millionaire Mentoring with Black Ops Underground Marketing. Now, my name is Darren Little here from Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. If you want, I'll give you actually a free gift as well, guys. You can go to MLMsuperhero.com. there is a $197 training manual that's about 104 pages, and it will literally fast track you in any business by 3 to 5 years. Okay, no joke, by 3 to 5 years. Now, we set an intention to help 50 families make an extra 100 grand this year, the next 12 months. And we are well on our way to do that. Well on our way, okay? If we've already helped Justin, make about 30th to 6,000 or so, and a 17-year-old kid made 50 grand in his first 5 weeks or 6 weeks, we can help you. We can help you, okay? So keep that in mind. Okay, so here's the deal, guys. Myself and my business partner, we come from what I call being heart-centered leaders. Like, we can go make millions of dollars ourselves. I come from venture capital and, raising money for private companies, public companies and whatnot. And I could just go raise another 10, 15, 20 million and do another deal. But there's not the same type of satisfaction that there is from being able to help transform people's lives. It's a totally different ballgame, guys. There's more satisfaction from me seeing what happened for Justin, or me seeing what happened to Crystal, or to Erica, or to Charlene, than there is for me to go make more millions. Okay. And once you get to a certain point of making money, it's just a game. It's no longer about making money anymore. And the thing I'll tell you is, if you're the only one making money, it's pretty darn lonely trying to go on a cruise, right? Because nobody's coming. Everybody's working, right? Think about that. Who else is going to come? Everybody else is at a 9-to-5 job. So what we do is we help lift up as many people as we can and give them wings, right? Give them wings so that they can become leaders, so that they can become a ripple in their family, in their community, in their church, and they can now do the things that they want to do. Like, we got people that want to go to Africa and build schools and, feed hungry kids and all sorts of things. There's all sorts of dreams that people have. Some people say, well, I really want to get an exotic car. And there's nothing wrong with that, right? There's nothing wrong. Some people say, Darren, I've always had this dream of having my own property and being out on acreage, but I can't afford the 1.1 million. You know what I say? How much do you need for down payment? All right, let's figure this out. We'll give you the exact strategy that you can do. If you need to come up with 100 grand, let's figure out the strategy. We'll show you how to do it. We'll show you how to get that 100,000 so you can get that property. Some people say, well, Darren, my wife's, really sick right now, and we don't have enough money, right? I want to retire my wife. How much money do you need? Well, she was making 40 grand a year. Let's do that. Let's help you to get that $40,000 so that your family's going to be okay. See how that works, guys? That's from your heart. Okay, that's from you can't fake that stuff, right? That's the real deal. So if you're a person right now that you feel that you're in a state of transition, or you might have reached that breaking point, or a combination of both, that's actually the best, guys, just so you know. If you're in both of those, transition and breaking point. Why? Because you will be the most coachable, okay? You'll be the most coachable to be able to go up the ladder the fastest, right? Because you'll just show up. Right, you'll just take notes. You'll apply what we teach, what we train. Okay, does that make sense? So what we're going to do is we're going to wrap up for tonight. I would encourage you to plug into our trainings, because sometimes we'll do millionaire mentoring in an open forum. Obviously, once you get behind closed doors, the value goes like this, like a rocket launch, and that's why we have these breakthroughs. That's why we have people go from rags to riches in such a fast period of time. Now, what's financial freedom? What is financial freedom? Financial freedom is when you have more money coming in every month than all of your bills. Think about it. That's freedom. That means you don't have to get up every morning, right? You can go to bed whenever you feel tired. You can get up whenever you feel rested. The only traffic that you're going to get is going from your bedroom to your office, or your bedroom to your kitchen table. And if you've been away like me, you might have to move your suitcase out of the way, but that's as much traffic as that you're going to ever have to have. Now, when people talk about a home-based business, that doesn't mean you got to work at home, guys. Seriously. I go to restaurants, I go to lounges, I go to the park where there's Wi-Fi, I go sit in the sun, I can sit by the pool, you know, and work my business. I just went to Manila for 2 months. Could you just pick up and just take off to the other side of the world and go away for 2 months? But I still had my business with me. That's the power of the internet. So thanks a lot for joining us on this exclusive and private VIP broadcast. My name is Darren Little. I'm excited for you. I'm fired up. Throw your hat over the wall, click that link below, and let's get you and your family into freedom. So thanks a lot for joining us, and have a great night. All the best.